Hey, good morning. How y'all doing? It is Well Red Beard. It's a damn fine day. I tell you, it's a damn fine day to talk about a book, and we are here for a book review. And today we're going to talk about Folk Songs for Trauma Surgeons by Keith Rosson. This is my fifth Keith Rosson read, having done Fever House in the last 3 months or so. Devil by Name. I can't. That's weird. But Devil by Name, and then I did over here. You can't really see it, but recently did The Mercy of the Tide. So Devil by Name, Fever House. That is a series. Those two books go together. Mercy of the Tide is his first novel. I loved it. 5 star, loved it. I've also read a book called Road 7 that I read probably 3 years ago. It was sent to me in ARC format for review back when I was doing a lot of reviews. I 5 star loved that one. I'm pretty sure it's been a while. Devil by Name was 4 stars. Fever House probably 3.5. This book is somewhere between 4.5 stars. What I will tell you about it is the first 6 stories killed it. I mean, they were all 5 star stories. Like, loved them, and I was like, this is amazing. Some of the stories after that dropped off a little bit, but not much, right? Like nothing that I didn't like. They just the first 6 or so, like, just killed it for me. I mean, especially, well, I don't want to give away what my top story is. I'm going to talk about my top 5, which usually I do only a top 4, but it was so hard to pick these, and this book is so damn good that I'm going to give it a top 5. Huge fan of Rosson. Again, my fifth read. He's only written 6 books, I think. I'm pretty sure of that. I've got to do Smoke City. I'll be doing that in the next month and a half, and I'll be done and up to date with Rosson's work, and I'll keep up with him going forward. But he's kind of my cup of tea. Like I don't want to say he's my favorite author. There's a couple guys that I found: Keith Rosson, John Bowden, who is an indie author and writes a lot of novellas and stuff. But they are that what I found is they are my literary cup of tea. Is Keith Rosson my favorite? I don't know. He's in my top 5. He's in my top 5 favorite authors. Like, I love his style, his I mean, combination of horror elements with like super literary, beautiful style. So yeah, huge fan of Rawson. So this is let's call it 4.5. It's definitely the best short story collection I've read in a long time. And it's early in the year, January, but it'll definitely be up for best short story collection at the end of the year. Now, I've done shorts on shorts for all the stories in this book. I haven't published them all yet, so it might be, a few days before they kind of trickle out. But I finished it this morning, and I wanted to talk about it immediately. So yeah, excellent short story collection. Let's talk about the title. The title is amazing. I mean, I like, cool titles like that. I don't know that I have read a book with a better title than this in a while. I'm a title guy, I guess. I don't know. I really, really like this title. I also like the cover. Cover is cool. It's beautiful. It is published by Meerkat Press. This is not a long book at about 199 pages, I think, 189 pages, something like that. But yeah, so yeah, Rawson's my cup of tea. So let's talk about some of the stories in here. My number 5th story in the book is, and this was hard. This was really, really hard. Is Their Souls Climb the Room. Now, again, I love the first 6. I think it's the first 6. Let me look real quick. My top 5. 5 of them come from the 5 of them come from the first 5, or 4 of them come from the first 5 stories. One of them comes from later in the book. But yeah. So Their Souls Climb the Room. This is the story of a guy that works at a pig slaughtering facility, and he is the stick guy, the knife guy. Like, as they come by, one every 5 seconds, he has to get him in the throat, and as they're going on down. Now, someone is supposed to stun them before they get there. Doesn't always happen that way. There's a lot of concern about a pig kicking and causing this knife to kick back on you. Anyway, but he kills thousands and thousands of pigs a day, and like he's done the math. Like in the time he's been there, he's killed millions of pigs, and he's haunted by the souls of these pigs that he's killed. It's a really cool story. I mean, there's a lot more to it than that, but I'm trying to be really brief when talking about these stories. My number 4 is hospitality, and in this one, a guy owns a hotel, and this hotel is in Wisconsin Dells, Wisconsin, which is a touristy place. But things have changed. Everything's bigger and better there now. Bigger water parks, bigger, resorts, this and that. And his roadside hotel is not doing as well as it once was. It's called something like the Orca Inn or the Orca Motel, and it's got this big orca statue on top. They've come in, and the county examiner or county safety guy or whatever has told him he's got to take down this gigantic whale, which is like the number one part of why people would be attracted to stay in this hotel. But there is kind of an intersection, kind of a collision of characters, so to speak. There's a guy hiding out a young kid hiding out in this hotel that works at a water park, and he let 4 drunk dudes that greatly exceeded the weight limit for this ride get on the same raft, and one of them got injured, and he's kind of on the run. He thinks he's in deep shit, and he's on the run from that. And then a local gun company has sent their workers to an employee event, sent them to Wisconsin Dells, and there is a woman whose child was killed by a gun made by this company. She is staging something here at this guy's hotel. So like I said, this cool intersections collision of characters in that one, a badass story. Number 3 is Baby Jill, and it's I don't know, probably the more, I want to say it's the more horrific horror type story in the book. It's more of a fantasy. It's about the Tooth Fairy. It's about our main character is the Tooth Fairy, and she goes and gathers the teeth, and it starts off. Let's see if I can find the front of that story. It might take me a second, but it starts, on Wednesdays, Gary comes and gets the teeth. That's how it starts. And so this, dude, on Wednesdays, Gary comes to collect the teeth. That's your opening line. And so this dude comes and gets the teeth, and they just pile up in like her guest bedroom, just pile up. And every Wednesday they're, just piles and piles and piles of teeth, but the teeth are, it's less and less, and she's starting to get, I don't know, she's not supposed to get involved with the children, and she's just kind of I don't know if it's a midlife crisis for the Tooth Fairy or what it is, but anyway, it is it's another really really cool story. Number 2 on my list is Dunsmuir, and it's the one that's later in the book, and that one, a dude has just served 30 days in a rehab facility, court ordered. He lost his license, had a car accident, whatever, drinking and driving, and he's got an alcohol problem, and he knows it, and he knows that he's right there, like he has to quit. While he's in this facility, his fiance, girlfriend, whatever, her sister is murdered by her meth head boyfriend, and he can't even get out to go with her to when her sister is killed. And so he knows that's it. Like he can't take another drink or she'll leave him. And it's this look at that. This look at dealing with alcoholism. Kind of having this enforced no going back. I mean, because otherwise he'd be like, well, maybe I can have a drink. Maybe I'd be, but this kind of self-enforced, but girlfriend enforced, just last stand that you cannot drink, and so it goes into him and her going back to Dunsmuir to get the sister's ashes and to take her and take her ashes to a particular place. A little bit of road trip in there, but yeah, another really cool story. Like this, to me, this is just like it's a lot of like real life stuff, But anyway, my number one was the very first story in the book. I got this book for Christmas at my parents' house. I cracked it that day and just read the first story, and it's called The Lesser Horseman, and it's about the four horsemen of the apocalypse. But the three of them, the oh shoot, what do we got? We got war. We got what was it? Plague? Is it famine and pestilence, something like that. Anyway, but the three lesser horsemen are on this. They've been put on this cruise ship, and they're being told by God and war. Is it war? No, it's war. Death. Death. Anyway, it's they're being told by God in death that they're no longer needed, or they're only needed in a very limited capacity. Like kind of like independent contractors type thing. They'll be called up to the big leagues occasionally, but I mean, how often do we? I mean, we need war, but I mean, death can kind of take care of that. How often do we have real wars? I mean, little conflicts, little skirmishes, whatnot, and they've all been kind of replaced by this new and fifth horseman, and it's terror. Terror is the new, but anyway, it's a really really cool story about the four horsemen of the apocalypse and them being, I guess, put on the bench, so to speak. So yeah, I love that story. Just knocked it out of the park for me. So I want to see if I can share just a couple of little tidbits, because that's what makes this book great, is that the stories are great, but there's little tidbits in here that just beautiful little bits of text that just really add to the reading experience for me. And this is a line. It says, I mean, I've marked these, but I haven't really prepared to read them. So let's see if I can pull this off. I mean, I'm 12 minutes into the video, so if I mess it up, I'm going to mess it up. But this one says, the heart moves as fast as it wants, grows when it grows, lies stunted when it doesn't. The heart runs in circles, in mad leaps, shivers like a dog, comes back again and again to the same wounds until there's enough scar tissue to move on. Damn, I dig that. So I'm wondering if I can do these without the context. I think I'm going to skip that one. Let's see here. Hold on. All right, so there's a story here. Yes, we are duly concerned with calamitous events. And I marked the first paragraph, so I don't know what we're going to get. I think this is just more of a, oh wow, like how to grab someone at the head of a story. But anyway, it's the first death. It says, 23 days after the world kind of ends, we all watch as Human Resources Randy strangles the temp with a mouse cord right there in the hallway in front of the men's bathroom door. If the tone hadn't been set already, well, there you go. Jesus. So, like for me, just how to grab you at the front of a story. I'm gonna look at one more here and see if it's worth. No, that's not one. Anyway, but yeah, cool tidbits throughout. Great grabbing openings to the stories. It's a badass book, and this is Folk Songs for Trauma Surgeons by Keith Rosson. This is Well Red Beard. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're enjoying all your books, all of them, as much as I am. If not, you're reading the wrong damn books.